In this lesson, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of common validations which appear in many social research questionnaires. First of all, we're going to take a look at using a LinQ expression to ensure that there is only one head of household within a household roster. Secondly, we'll be taking a look at multi-select questions where we have questions within the answer list which shouldn't be selected together. First of all, let's brush back up on LinQ expressions that we learned last module. The first thing we do when creating our LinQ expressions is we specify the roster name of the previous roster we want to search through. Then a dot, then the operator. The operators which are available to us are all, checking if the condition is true for all roster rows, any, checking if the condition is true for any roster rows, and count, returning a count of how many times the condition is true within the roster. So for today's example, looking at the number of household heads, we're going to use count, because one household head will be okay, but if our count is equal to 2 or more, then we're going to have a problem. And then inside the parentheses, we use the x is equal to or greater than x dot to define our condition. So our variable is going to be the relation to household head variable, and our condition will be is equal to the household head. So here in module B, I'm going to set this validation on question B3. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, my roster name I want to search through is this roster here, roster B, which we're currently in. And I'm going to use a count to see how many household heads we have. The variable I want to check is my current variable, B3. And I want to check it when it's equal to 1. This code here, the head of the household. So this little section of code here will return me a number. And what I want to do is make sure that number is less than 2. So once the count hits 2, we'll receive a warning message. Let's see this in operation. So I've quickly now set up an example household roster with 2 members. So let's select that the first member is the head of household. We receive no warning message because our count now is at 1. Now, if the second member is the head of household also, we'll receive our error message. The next common validation type we're going to take a look at today is within a multi-select question. So you've probably all seen a type of question where we have an answer list with several different answers, and then the final option is none of the above or don't know. In these instances, we want to set a validation so that the interviewer cannot select don't know and some of the above options, because he can't know and not know at the same time. It's illogical. Let's have a look at where this applies in our questionnaire. In module F in our designer tool, we're going to go to F3 question. Now you can see here F3 is a multi-select, meaning the respondent can select one or more of the answer options. But you may have noticed here that option code 10 is for don't know, can't remember. So intuitively, the respondent shouldn't know, i.e. select one of the answers above, and not know at the same time. So I want to make sure that they can't select 10 and any of the above codes, or that they can only select 10. So I've written the validation already because it's quite a long one, so I'll walk you through it. So what we have is self contains only 10. This means if 10 is the only answer option selected, this is okay. Or we can contain any of the first 9 codes and option 10 is not selected. This is also okay. What's not okay is selecting number 10 with any of the above codes. Let's see it in practice. So at F3, when we test our survey, we can select one or more of the top answers, but as soon as we select them in conjunction with the don't know code, we'll get the red error message. We can also remove the top answers so that don't know is the only code selected, and this is okay also. That's all for this lesson. I hope that these 2 common validations will be helpful to you in your work on social research. Join me next lesson and we're going to take a look at what's called cascading answer options.